Yo, my apologies. This is probably sounding really bad right now. Let's just pop this on the shirt. I usually do it through, but here we are, guys. What's going on? And it is specifically 9:04, January 5th. I'm just doing the tags for the show right now. Welcome to the NBA show with the Sayo and Co. Let me just update the ticketer. I need to figure this out and I've been meaning to. So when we put this ticketer in, if you guys are watching on the live show, basically what happens is I put it in correctly, like the way that it should be, but it gets butchered, and I don't know why. I've always wondered why, and I should just get a plugin. Either way, that's here nor there. We got a couple things to talk about. Two great TNT games last night. We got to see Donovan Vassell have a great game. So did Jetty Osman. Of course, our man Victor Wembanyama had a great game. Additionally, we got to see a man by the name Giannis Antetokounmpo have a great game. But let's get into the rest of the stuff. We'll talk about also our biggest player, like biggest surprises this NBA season. And I got a couple new features that I can add through the game, not through the game, but I work for Hoops Hype now. Okay, as you guys know, I'm a credentialed NBA reporter, and well, I'm not doing. I technically will have the opportunity to do some reporting and interviewing stuff with Hoops Hype, but right now I'm just doing social and stuff like that. But I'm going to the All Star game for them in a few weeks, and so I'm in a very fortunate situation. But with that being said, let me just alternate and turn around because I'm going to turn this light on. And let's get right into today's video. I'm all glad that you guys are here. And let's talk about anything specifically that I feel like should be addressed. And let's get right into that. Let's talk about what happened yesterday that we maybe didn't talk about. And if you're watching on the stream, I'm a big friend and hit that like button. There's a couple sites that I do want to log into because I was meaning to log into them so we didn't have to do it during the show, but I'm gonna do it. Either way, yesterday we did talk about the growing disconnect between Darvin Ham and the Lakers players. You guys have been updated about that. Will LeBron really get another coach fired, and who would replace him? Okay, we talked about that as they had dipped under 500. That's something I don't think we need to really go over if we've already gone over it once. Now, the next stuff that we can talk about is Draymond Green's to return to the Warriors in coming days, suspension nearing an end. Draymond Green is expected to return to Golden State and play in the coming days as he's nearing a return from his indefinite suspension. He was indefinitely suspended after striking Josip Nurkic December 13th, and that was right after returning from a suspension from choking Rudy Gobert. Obviously, he'll miss his 11th game on Thursday, which was yesterday, and he's been participating in individual counseling sessions and periodic virtual meetings that include team, league, and union officials designed to chart his progress towards reinstatement. The NBA fined the Brooklyn Nets $100,000 for violating player participation policy against the Bucks due to the fact that they had sat Spencer Dinwiddie, Nick Claxton, Cam Johnson, along with Dorian Finney-Smith. Mikal Bridges, Cam Thomas only played the first quarter. And, of course, the saddest news was Cavaliers and Ricky Rubio agreed to a contract buyout. Rubio had been away from the team while addressing mental health. Rubio is one of my favorite players of all time. It's likely that this buyout ends Rubio's NBA career. If he ever does play basketball again, it will likely be in his home country of Spain. The veteran point guard was due $6.1 million this season. Rubio had $4.3 million on his $6.4 million contract for next year, guaranteed. Now, there is something James Harden the other day said where the Clippers, like haters, no one's talking to them, and I will say, it's not that I had written the Clippers off. I had just moved on from the Clippers. I don't know how to say that. So the Clippers hurt me last year. They hurt me bad, ladies and gentlemen. I touted the Clippers as a team to watch for. Okay, I was excited. And what ended up happening was I had my heart broken. And I know it wasn't necessarily their fault, but to me, you don't understand. I was just a young buck looking for love, and I put them last year as my title favorite. We all know how that turned out. Obviously, I if you've been following the channel and you've been following my main channel, I threw that. I got away from that quickly. Okay, I didn't stay. I abandoned shipped. Okay, I abandoned shipped. I changed course. I hopped on the Jokic train before everybody else. So I want to say I was first. You guys were last, like always. But either way, let's go into it and talk about last night's games. And, well, let's actually talk about the biggest surprises. Well, if there was anything else. I mean, we had the Clippers. They've been going really well. Oh, the Bulls don't want to enter a full rebuild, they're saying. And yeah, I'd like to say that was most of the stuff that this morning we saw. Ooh, I like this one. So FC Barcelona is interested in Ricky Rubio. Donovan Mitchell is a happy camper. But I don't know. This is an interesting one because I do want to talk about this with Ricky Rubio. I love Ricky. Okay. People don't realize how much I love Ricky. Ricky has a special place in my heart, and we'll always do. We'll talk this quick Ricky because Ricky deserves the love. He'll always deserve the love. I also want to see, do I have any Rubio footage saved on my computer? I would love to see if I have some Rubio footage. Oh, do I? All right, so we're hearing that from Spain. The website Sport reports Barcelona's interest in Ricky Rubio returning to Barcelona. Now, the point guard from El Masuno, after ending his long, I'm also terrible at saying Spanish words, but yo puedo hablar español porque mis padres son de Argentina e Italia, pero también sueno como un italiano que quiere hablar español porque estoy hablando castellano, pero es nada, me encanta Ricky Rubio. I'm done. Either way, his career has ended with the NBA, and it's been long expected that if he does ever play basketball again, Ricky Rubio will go to Spain. And why not go back and play for Barcelona? How funny would it be if he went to Real Madrid? But he's 33 years old. He's been away since, being, I guess the best way to describe it is mentally unfit, and he hasn't been gotten himself in shape for it. And at this point, he hasn't played it in Spain since 2011. All right. And for me, he's a guy that if he goes back to Spain, the passing, dude, Facundo Campazzo, I love Facundo, and I'm an Argentine. But Ricky might become the best guard because he's still a terrific playmaker. Dude, he's the most creative passer I've ever seen. The guy's a great defender. He's got huge arms. I mean, the jump shot's improved. I mean, he's not a threat from the perimeter, but he's a great locker room guy, and he's a perimeter to young dudes. So for me, bringing Ricky Rubio out there, oh baby, it just to me that one would be unstoppable. And I don't even know how you would go about trying to contain Ricky, but to me, Ricky would be unstoppable in Barcelona. And people don't realize this. If you look at with FC Barcelona's current roster, also, why do they call it baloncesto? And like in Argentina and everywhere, we say basketball, which is Baskuet. But their current players they got Oscar de Silva, who should come back to the NBA. I've said this for years. His brother is about to get drafted, and I think he's better than his brother. Then you got yourself Jan Vesley, who was an MVP a few seasons ago. You got freaking Thomas Aronowski, Willie Hernan Gomez. You got Nicolas Laprovietola, who is an Argentine. Alex Elbrinas, Jabari Parker, James Najee, who's about to come over. You do have Michael Casiendo, who's probably going to eventually come over. Rookie Jokovitis, who's probably going to come over. But Joel Para, freaking dog, 3-point. Like, Barcelona's got a team, okay? Barcelona's got a team. I'd go. I'm saying that because I'm dead ass. But let me hear your guys' thoughts. Would you guys go to Barcelona? Or is that just me? Because, I feel like not a bad gig. But let's go hop into other something. Yeah, no, I feel like that wouldn't really be that bad of a gig. So let's go over here and I'm gonna download a quick video for us of last night's games because I have access to that stuff. So we're gonna talk about the real quick. I think we biggest surprises in the NBA this season so far. I want to say the biggest surprises are the Pacers. I want to say the Pacers are definitely in there as one of the more surprising teams in the league. I think Joel Embiid being as good, and then I think team wise, Pacers and Sixers, how good they are the top two surprises. Joel Embiid averaging 35 points and like they're basically being better without James Harden. It makes sense. I mean, it just the offense moves, and Nick Nurse is a great coach, and you guys know I love me some Nick Nurse. And I just think with that being said, there was a lot of opportunity for Nick Nurse and the Raptors to do similar things, but Masai Ujiri didn't do it, and I think with them letting James Harden move on, they have more just floor spacing, letting Joel do his thing. And the Pacers just, even though they're horrendous at defense, I think how good they are offensively. I think they're a bit more. We knew how good they were before Tyrese got hurt, but I think they went ahead and they got better. And it was, I think no one expected them to be this far ahead. Besides that, from a player's aspect, I think the players that I'm most surprised, I do think Fred Van Vliet just I I didn't think he was gonna be as effective as he's been. The Kobe White's taking a jump. I think that's another one that's really surprising. Did you guys also know the most effective field goal percentage, like 2 point, like inside, like 2 point, is Obi Toppin, which I think is kind of funny. That's not it's surprising, but it's here nor there. It's just take it for a grain of salt. Besides that, I think nothing else is too surprising. I think maybe Jordan Poole being as bad as he is, that one, I'll admit, I was caught off guard by that. And I want to say any other ones, Chet maybe, but like we knew that the second year, that's where I'm at. Nothing too surprising. What do you think, Henry?
Yeah, Chet was going to be on my list. I was also going to nominate Jaime Jaquez. He has
Oh,
surpassed expectations.
good one, good one. I don't know why I didn't think about Hami. Yeah, I'd be lying. I'd be lying if I said I had Hami Lakas on my list. Like,
It's
I
just amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing that the strong suits of his game have just translated like so crisply, so immediately.
yeah, I had him as okay. So let's go back to my YouTube, and I'm gonna pull. What do you think I compared him to? Ciro Seo, Hami Jaquez. Okay, okay. Let's see if I have. Oh, who is Hami Jaquez? I have a video on him. I feel like I did in multiple years as well. That's the worst part. Is right here. I have the video. Let me pull it up. I want to say there's no way I didn't. All right. Usually I put in a 6 man potential. I wrote right here. That's usually like my thing. I thought he was going to be a 6 man. This is last year's. I feel like I did another one the year before. But tell me the rest of your surprises. I'm going to try to find this.
Uh, Minnesota, I would say, pleasantly exceeding expectations. The Embiid one was good. He's also facilitating like crazy. Nick Nurse has done an excellent job in Philadelphia. This is about what I thought the Pacers would be. I'm impressed with Orlando.
You just cut out,
Just
bud. You're like muted by accident.
I'm not. I'm lagging like crazy though.
Yeah, check your microphone. Like,
Can you hear me now?
Talk again.
Yeah,
One second,
nothing.
I can kind of. You're like super quiet. Well, let me make sure this ain't on my end. Talk again.
Yeah.
I got you. You're
All
back.
right. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
It was
But
all.
it also could have been my internet. My internet's being really shitty right now. That's why I was late.
No, you're good. All right, continue.
What was the last thing you heard me say?
I completely forgot at this point.
I said the Timberwolves, uh,
Timberwolves. Yeah, Timberwolves. Go from Timberwolves.
Orlando more than Indiana, even in my opinion. Like Indiana's almost exactly what I thought they'd be.
Tommy Hawkins, not to cut you off, first Tommy Hawkins video I made in 2022. Very poor man's DeMar DeRozan. Second last year I made six man potential.
Hmm.
I was on the wave, bro.
I like that. Good comp. Very good comp.
Continue.
Hmm. Player and team surprises.
It's a tough one to think about.
Jalen Brunson has taken the leap.
Yes, I didn't expect him to be a fucking max player. I expected him to be an all-star, and I thought the contract was getting like now the contract looks like a bargain.
Yeah, certainly. I'd say those are my main surprises.
Yeah, I agree.
Mavs cast, Dante Exum, Derek Jones. Those guys have been really good.
That's a good one. Yeah, Derek Jones has been the biggest surprise. We talked about that at the G League showcase. My love for how good Derek Jones started the year. He's got a double-digit score for them at one point.
Yeah. Although
But
I've came to the conclusion that that is strictly tied to playing Luca and being in like a spot up role.
I think you're giving no credit to Derek Jones Jr., and I think that's quite rude of you.
Derek Jones Jr. is hitting his shots, but he leads the league in corner threes. And he's also faded to like 35% shooting.
Hey, really? He leads
Yeah.
the league in corner threes.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Yeah.
That's a nice little niche stat. Okay, let's go over and let's get into the meat and potatoes of what I had us more than likely going to talk about. It's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks and San Antonio Spurs. There were good games last night, and I thought, why not do as our series has been? We're doing like about like 10-15 minute breakdowns of each team so far this season. Here's a clip from last night's game for you and the audience. And yeah, here we go. NBA, don't hate us. Wasn't this insane?
Yeah, he's insane. I wish I would have watched this game, honestly.
I yeah.
It's too busy. Yeah, Scoob.
What were you doing?
Rocking some Scoob.
What's that mean?
Playing Ultimate Frisbee.
That's the gayest thing ever.
To some, perhaps.
To
Oh, this is
most.
nice. This little behind.
Yeah, I saw that.
Uh,
I saw that one. I had to slow the video down because I was like, did he lay it up? But he dunked it.
yeah. Dude, it's such a ball movement centric game, though. I'm surprised you're a hater on it.
What?
Ultimate Frisbee.
Because it's not a real sport. It's like I play real sports, soccer,
Well, I
basketball.
just referred to it as a ball movement centric game, though.
And
You don't got to treat it like it's the pinnacle of athletics.
yeah, I just play sports that revolve on pinnacle of athleticism, like where it's like me against you, like not games that everyone can play, because that's like not a sport then. It's just
Yeah,
being
but it's very, I would say it takes, like, at a high level, it takes the same, like,
there
physical
is no high
characteristics.
level because it's not a real sport.
Nah, I mean, all right, well, never mind. If you're going to be so closed-minded, then I will not attempt to speak.
No, you're good. I mean, I've played them. I just like if at this point in age, like I will go play you. If I'm gonna go spend my time and exert my energy, I'm going to play basketball. I'm going to play tennis. I'm going to play football. I'm going to play
Yeah.
like
When you're playing a competitive game, though, it's like soccer.
soccer. Another one. Yeah, I know, but like I can find more people and have better games of soccer and better workout in my mind. Okay, playing.
Same workout is my point.
No, you can't keep running in ultimate frisbee.
You do though. That's what I'm saying. When you're playing a good game, there's so much
Yeah,
ball
but that's
movement.
so rare. That's so rare because no one plays ultimate frisbee like that.
Well, it just depends. These games that I'm playing aren't scrubs. These are all guys that are very good at Ultimate Frisbee.
I also want to like play like people like I want to play people. I don't know. I real sport. I don't know. Tennis, man, basketball, football, flag football. Oh, flag football. So like, and flag football is already like I'd say basketball and soccer are hot above flag football. Because the amount of fat dudes who play flag football.
Yeah, you can't be a fat dude play Ultimate Frisbee at a high level. Impossible. You'll get exposed.
I think you definitely can't play it. If you're fat in ultimate frisbee, I think a lot more people can play ultimate frisbee. If it's an all immersed, all inclusive sport, like I don't know, I think like all inclusive like pickleball and like all that shit. Fuck that. Nah, wiffle ball. Fuck that.
Well, even to that extent, though, like basketball isn't all. Like everyone can play, everyone can hoop. Anyone can step out there and hoop.
No, no. I'm saying like I can realistically like if I go play pickleball, I can play like a 70-year-old at 24 years old
Yes.
and still have a competitive game. That's fucking stupid. That's
If you're a 70-year-old dude though, that'll go out there and like just pass. You don't
that's
really
great for a
hoop.
70-year-old like but you said but yeah, but like a 70-year-old physically, like even the greatest in shape 70-year-old can't fucking hoop. Like Michael Jordan can't even hoop anymore. Like he can shoot a
Right,
basketball.
and a fat dude can't play Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah, you can't because you just run stop. I mean, it's not going to be the fastest game. It's going to still work. But
But
like,
then you're gonna get cooked. Whoever you're guarding just starts running again.
yeah, but it's like just not a real like sport in terms of like competitiveness and like I'd say like sheer athleticism where like it comes down. I don't know. Like I'd rather just go play basketball because that's more like physically like demanding and like I'd rather play someone 6'6" or 6'7" and like have to figure that out than like run around with kids who are like my size there who are like I don't know, it's stupid at that point. I'm just in a field playing it like like a recess game.
Using the same physical, like uh same like physical level of soccer. That is the comp.
No, there's a reason why they're all you can't be a like realistically you can't be a professional ultimate frisbee player or a professional pickleball player in the sense that you can realistically chase a soccer career or like any other like baseball, basketball. Like those are like actual like sports that people regularly play. There's infrastructure that there's a
Right, but you
set.
saying it's not a real sport. I'm not disagreeing with you. You just keep going back to that argument for whatever reason.
I don't know.
I'm not debating if it's a real sport or not.
Uh, either way,
Just saying you require the same physical demands that soccer does, and you're playing on a full field for sure.
yeah, I agree with that. I don't. I think my whole thing is like satisfaction wise. I don't think it's there, at least for me. But that's here nor
Cool.
there. San Antonio Spurs.
Facts. Definitely not here there.
San Antonio Spurs last night played a really good game against a very good team. The first off, three guys that I want to talk about: Jetty Osman, great fourth quarter. It would not be surprised if somebody tries for him. He's having a very underrated season here. That could have been a guy who's on the surprise list. Second, Devin Vassell had 34 points and nobody's talking about it. And third, Victor Wembanyama played a very, very, very impressive game. I enjoyed it. What'd you think of this game? What any of the thoughts you had? And let me know about that one.
It's interesting that there has been very little Devin Vassell hype this year. Partially, I do feel like he's been a victim of the Jeremy Sohan experiment at point guard,
A lot of
but
people have.
he's exciting. Mhm.
I said a lot of people have been the victim of Jeremy Sohan, big point guard, but they've axed that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's good to see Vassell popping again. He's an up and coming player in the league. And he's having almost like a really similar season to last year at a bump in volume. So booms like this should be what we expect from him. He's a rising player in the league. Kansas threes last night, though. That's good.
I just put this video in for Victor Wembanyama and just came back French.
We
Oui, but no, I think I'm gonna pull up the Spurs right here. So for me, when I look at the Spurs this season, this was a wash year, and I don't know why they did it as a gap year. Like there could have been more. Maybe they knew that Vic needed time to adjust, but the whole thought was maybe they could have gotten some vets and done something similar to the Rockets. But I think they're going to do that next year. So for me, when I look at this, if you look at this team right now, put this up on the screen. Their defense is better than their offense, which is good. They're the worst net rating in the league with -11. They're a 34% three-point shooting team, which is second worst in the league. They're basically statistically in every stat except assists, ironically, and field goal attempts. They were and blocks, of course, because you have freaking Victor Wembanyama, who's their leading scorer in rebounding with 19 and 10. Trey Jones out there, their actual point guard, who's starting to get more playing time, is averaging 5 assists a night. It's just he doesn't have a jumper. I mean, look,
Right. The Solon experiment was worth experimenting to me because Trey Jones is a pretty known commodity at this point.
yeah,
But now I'm happy the plug has been pulled. But
so let me first up.
I also think what a clear boom spot for Vassell though. Going against a Lillard Beasley backcourt. This Bucks team can't stop anybody. That's becoming a trend.
Yeah, I would love for this team to send like, mm, I'd take Devonte Graham and either Malachi Brannan or Blake Wesley attached for Tyus Jones or like DeLon Wright if this team really wanted a point guard to pair with Trey Jones. Am I wrong for thinking that?
It's absolutely amazing that DeLon Wright is being left to rot. Like Atlanta could use him again. There are a lot of teams that could use DeLon Wright.
He's
Yeah,
not
I mean
being
whether
left
that,
to rot. He's getting some run.
well for sure, but like left to rot in Washington, just implying that like, he's in Washington.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
that's a lot of people. People could say Kyle Kuzma's left to rot.
yeah, but
He's
DeLon Wright
cooking.
is a clear, simple trade candidate. Kuzma is a clear trade candidate eventually, but he's a more complex one. DeLon Wright is going to cost the dudes you just named in a second.
You might just get away with Blake Wesley because he's on the second year of a rookie deal.
Yeah, true, maybe. Yeah,
That's just
Jared Butler taste.
yeah. That was just my thought.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I do think that that type of veteran who can bring some grit and IQ would help San Antonio.
I'm trying to think of
Or-
anybody else. Like, I mean,
But I do also agree that in hindsight, this team adding somebody just to create a more serious competitive environment and just like enable everybody slightly more would have been good in hindsight. Not to the Van Vliet extent, but
yeah, that makes sense though. All right, let's go
I mean,
ahead.
I role played the Spurs this summer coming into this season. All I did was flip Trey Jones for Dyson Daniels, which I was more excited about at the time. I've cooled on Dyson Daniels, although he's big still. We signed Kelly Oubre, which looks great in hindsight. And what else did we do? We brought in Clint Capella. That was stupid. It cost us nothing, but we didn't want Wemby to play the five at the time because San Antonio had been expressing like, oh, we're gonna protect him, so we brought in Clint, which I regret that.
Yeah, what would you do right now if you're to to like would you just stay course and just ride the season out or what? Henry, what would you do? Let me hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I probably would just ride the season out, honestly, or do a small move, facilitate some deals. I probably wouldn't add anything relevant to the rotation. Let me see. Let me see.
Come on, Henry. You just go off the top of domes. Would you trade Zach Collins, would you trade Doug McDermott, Jetty Osmond, Devontae Graham? Like, what moves are you making? Are you staying pat? Think on your feet, boy. Can you do it or not?
I'm staying pat, but I'm interested in picking up the phone on Keldon Johnson if teams call me. I'm not really viewing him as a serious part of the future
Why?
right now. Because I just don't know how much utility I see. What is he on a contending team?
You're not a Kellen Johnson fan. Let me tell you what he is on contending. First off, he was two-time 20-point scorer, basically. He's a guy who can play the 2, the 3, the 4 if you need him. He's improved every season. He can take the ball to the rack. He can shoot it from 3. He's most effective as a catch-and-shoot player. Great in
Kind of, bro.
transition. He's got a great stroke with solid numbers to back it up. He's got a good feel to attack closeouts. I mean, he won't make those special passes, but he's a great rebounder for his position and size. He gives you a great effort defensively. He's improved a lot on defensive ends, and he knows what his limitations are. He's a guy who stands at 6'5" with a 6'9" wingspan. He's great.
I
Is
mean, at what point when you shoot under 34% from three for 2 straight years of volume, does your stroke become like just mediocre?
It's just the role that he is in. It's just that's fine. He's league average, but like he's a career 36. Like he's just the league average 3-point shooter who like that you
At
have to
6'5", who's a good defender, yeah.
and can
So what? That he's a potential. He's just a starter on a playoff team.
yeah, and
Maybe
he's the fifth
maybe
guy.
my
He's your fifth guy on a
fourth.
fifth guy on your championship team. Fourth
Yeah,
guy.
and on a good deal as well.
Yeah,
Fourth.
he's basically Andrew Wiggins. He's in the Andrew Wiggins role. That's kind of what you want him for. In a weird way. You kind of say. Maybe not as good of a defender, but you hear me?
Yeah, I'm still just overall pretty mid on Keldon Johnson. Which, if teams are perceiving his trade value highly, I would move him.
No, I get that. I get that because, like, I mean, they lost Bassey. Hopefully, Don Barlow gets more run. I,
Yep.
I personally, I love Zach Collins. I mean, the 3-point shot hasn't been there this season, and I don't know. I just think you should pack it up. Jetty Osmond, Doug McDermott, right there. So that's 20 million. You can get up to like $30 million. Like you could hypothetically go out and get yourself Gordon Hayward or like Terry Rozier if you wanted to.
Which they wouldn't want to. But
Not Gordon Hayward, but Terry Rozier maybe. Scary Terry.
I do love Scary Terry. Probably one of my favorite hoopers in the league, honestly.
I am a big fan. Not like that much of a fan, but I've always appreciated Scary Terry and the leap that he took.
I also hope Mamadi Diakite gets some run on this two-way.
Mamadi Diakite. I love Mamadi Diakite. I feel like he's gotten shorter every year. Dude, I thought that guy was 6'11". Now he's like listed at like 6'7".
Yeah, he's officially 6'9" on ESPN.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen that man fluctuate in height, and I'm so confused. But I've
Yeah, I feel like he was definitely 6'10", 6'11" at Virginia.
at Virginia, I swear to God, people said he was a 7-footer. And now I saw him listed. I swear the G League someone had him at 6'7" or 6'8". I was like, what? And I remember
You
before
know what though?
seeing,
In the context of making a move this season, I'm definitely not moving Keldon Johnson. That'd be a huge locker room kill. In my meta sense, I'm not attached to him as being part of my future. But I'm standing pat if I'm the Spurs this year. Maybe adding small vets. Trying to get Ricky Rubio out of retirement, probably.
yeah, no, I agree. I think it'll be interesting how this all plays out because I'm a fan of. Okay, Malachi Branham. I think there's a couple guys that they can move on. Malachi Branham, and Blake Wesley, they screwed over. I was a big Blake Wesley guy. I wasn't huge on Malachi Branham, but like they need to give Don Barlow a run. There's just it's just I don't know. It's insane. Well, what do you? I don't know. I just feel like this team they need to get better offensively because the whole thing is just like they're giving the ball more to Wemby now, but like it's just a lot of times it feels like Wemby's by himself out there. Do you agree? Like there's no
Yes.
offensive like philosophy or scheme.
Well, you would hope Vassell's assist rate is down slightly this year, but you would like to be seeing the offense be ran more through him at times. Because that's how you're really going to get getting your two most dynamic players and as much action as possible together is good. You want to essentially replicate whatever, top of my head, because that's who they played. You want Damon Giannis to be Vassell and Wemby.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Or even a Jokic Murray type thing, if you will, given how much Wemby can do.
Yeah, I'm just interested in.
But the question is that feasible? Is that something Vassell is capable of? Because it hasn't happened yet.
I think Vassell's the third option on a championship team.
Can he run the offense? Is he a secondary initiator, though? Is he
Yeah,
primary?
secondary.
I agree. I tend to agree.
The problem with this team is they don't have a primary, a guy besides Trey Jones. But the problem with Trey Jones is you can't shoot the basketball for some reason. You know? But,
Yeah, well, definitely.
But again, this team, we can't get over like consumed by this because this team is a work in progress. They're probably a year or two away from being actually arrived. So anything more would just be, I guess, setting over expectations. Yeah, would be the right way to say that, right?
It's interesting where Cleveland's at. I would potentially be trying to dial up Cleveland and see if I can, like, especially as the Spurs with a treasure chest of picks. Maybe Darius Garland. Maybe Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell could be rented.
Donovan Mitchell's is happy in Cleveland. It was reported this morning.
Like, give me Garland. Give me Garland, Cleveland. I'll wow you.
You'll wow them.
I'll wow you.
Give me 1 second. All right, let's move over to the next topic, and that's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks. Any last thoughts before we go into the Milwaukee?
No, it would be fun if the Spurs could make a move, but like I just don't foresee something really coming up this year.
All righty. We got ourselves the Milwaukee Bucks here, who has a little video that I can play right now for the audience right here. And the whole thing is last night we got to see a good game. What is it right here? Between them. And here's a little video from Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo post game. If it fucking wants to download, it's taking forever to download. But he basically talked about Victor Wembanyama and gave him praise, and I just thought it was a nice little video.
He thinks about Wemby when he's trying to get freaky at night. So I hear.
Bye. Wait, hold up. We gotta find properties. Advanced audio.
Three. So whoever say he's 7-3, that's a lie.
Can you hear the video?
But like at the end of the day, like you haven't seen anything like.
I want to say,
that, you know.
yeah, I want
haven't,
to
maybe you guys have seen everything,
say,
I've seen everything. So the sky is the limit, and as long as you work hard and you keep on having,
we're just gonna cut the video out because I think we can get the video to play and them hear it, but we won't be able to hear it, and that becomes a problem. Like I would have to play the video. Oh wait, the video can be played like this.
he's special.
You hear this?
He's gonna be an extremely good player. Gotta stay healthy.
Or no?
The right way, plays to win.
No.
I don't know. I've never seen anything like him. 7'4", 7'5". I don't know how tall he is. He's not 7'3". He's way taller than 7'3".
Well, they can hear it,
So
and I
I'm
can
saying
hear it.
7'3",
You just
that's
can't
a
hear
lie.
it. So I'm sorry.
But like I didn't.
Either way, Milwaukee Bucks. Let's get right into it and talk about the Bucks. And the Bucks are the third best offense in the league. You want to hear what their defensive rating is?
118.
21st.
Oh,
But they're
like close
seventh.
on the
No.
what is the number?
116. I guess that's close. But like not really in terms of I guess it is
I,
close.
I
Either
mean, yeah. And I don't, it's not exactly a team that I trust the defense to step up a ton in the playoffs. Adrian Griffin hasn't done that
he's a
before.
shit coach.
Yeah, if Nick Nurse were at the helm, I'd like this team way more.
Dude, if Nick Nurse was the helm, it would be way better. I, Chris Middleton is starting to come back from the grave, but dude, he can't play more than 20 minutes a night. I I will go back to it. They're like the reverse of the 2012 Boston Celtics. Like that team was really good defense. I don't even think they'd make it as far as Boston. I think this is a second round exit for a team. What's your expectations with them? Let them rip.
Wow, 15 minutes for Middleton last night. Hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm expecting this team to maybe make some type of small move on the buyout market, or I don't even know what assets they have available, but do something. I still think they're Eastern Conference Finals bound. I don't think anybody besides Boston is a real threat in the East to beat them.
Miami.
Nah, I'm gonna still lean Milwaukee.
No faith in Miami. Why? Why no faith?
I do have faith.
Give me a rundown
Man,
why.
I do buy the Bucks. I buy Middleton to ramp up slightly, and I think that they can wear Miami down through 7.
No, I hear you. And like my whole thing,
That's my rationale. That would be a great series.
it would be. It would be. I think the players in the East are the Miami Heat, the Bucks, the Celtics, and the I guess we got to give the Sixers there. I think they're different with Nick Nurse at the helm.
I mean, you're still relying on. Yeah, true. The Sixers are different. I still think they're a second round exit.
I just don't. I personally don't believe in Mr. Joel Embiid yet. Like we do live in a world that you got to prove it. So until he does it, I will be subjective. But what's your thoughts on?
I will say I also trust. Man, as weird as this is, I trust in the playoffs to make plays for me. I trust Duncan Robinson. I trust Caleb Martin more than I trust a Kelly Oubre. Tobias Harris is what he is. So I do like Miami's role players, and like I put them on the same tier as Philly. But I think Embiid is slightly different this year. The way that he
Embiid's
is making
different.
plays, the way that he's making plays out of double teams as well, like the offense is just better.
No, I'm in complete agreement. I think Embiid's a different animal this year. But again, it was similar to Giannis a few seasons ago until they win it. We live in a world that you got to prove it until you do it. You're all talk.
Yeah.
It's just regular season ball, you know? Is that being real? And that's where it comes down. Is James having a solid season this year, but is it just regular season ball? Going back to the Bucks.
Wait, you're talking about
Going back to the Bucks.
James?
Dame.
Oh, Dame. I thought you were talking about James Harden.
No, Dame, yeah. Dame. What's your thoughts on that one?
Could he be in like the twilight of his career? Yeah. I mean, I also think that you see this when you have elite elite duos and trios form. I think that he will continue getting better throughout the season. I trust him to be a playoff difference maker still. Or I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because he has proved it in the past.
Yeah, but like,
Do I think he can outperform Jimmy Butler in a playoff series? Yeah. I think that's possible.
I think one of the things we don't think about though is the possibility that I think Dame's a rental. Okay. I don't see this Bucks working out. I like the Bucks. I never asked for the downfall of any team, but the way that I see this working out, they're going to lose this year in the playoffs because they don't have the defense. They'll go into this offseason. They're going to have to move on from Chris Middleton, probably Brook Lopez, probably Bob Portis. But basically, the team around Dame and Giannis going to look very different next year. Very different. And they'll run it back one more time. And if they lose, I don't know what the team will look like next year, so I won't say it. But the way I think they lose again next year. Second round, first round. And if they do, Dame's out. And then he ends up in Miami. And then that's when Giannis leaves. But it's all through trade. And the whole thing is the Bucks come out of this all right because they've kept their players under contract so they will be able to control their destination and hopefully walk away with some sort of compensation for every single one of these guys, including Giannis and Dame.
Yeah. Clip that. Chat, clip that.
It's not bad, right?
No, it's very, very plausible.
I think they fire Adrian Griffin after the season, potentially. Unless he miraculously turns out X's and O's in the rotations, I personally don't think that's good. B, they had to hire a coach to replace Terry Stotts, and another guy's been on absent. I personally just don't think Adrian Griffin, maybe he is a good coach, but he isn't ready for big time, I think. I think he's being carried.
No, I agree.
Joe Mazzulla, it worked with Boston because Joe Mazzulla was on the staff for like 15 years, basically. He was with Boston for like 10 years already. But they brought Adrian from another team. And I know he's a long-term assistant. I don't think, Jacques Vaughn had more qualifications because he had been an intern coach at least. Adrian never had any of that. And we're hearing rumblings that there is discourse. At least with Adrian and I don't know if the players or that doesn't seem like people like Adrian Griffin that much. Just on the holistically as a person, it's not like he doesn't make many friends easily. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that precedent was set even before the season began, obviously, and he certainly hasn't shown it in X and O's schematic standpoints. And then I also feel like if you're not totally maybe in control of the locker room is the wrong phrase, but if your team doesn't respect and like you, then I'm necessarily going to buy into your system as cleanly.
Yeah, good way to put that.
I think that shows in the Bucks' bottom 10 defensive rating. These guys are going to go out and get buckets. These guys can get buckets all the time. But where coaching is going to matter is defense in this case.
Yeah. I just can't see this Bucks team beat. I can't see the Bucks beating the Sixers in a weird way.
Hmm.
You know?
I can't for sure.
You can or can't?
I can.
I can't.
Giannis goes crazy. It will be tougher.
All those scenarios involve Giannis going crazy. But that's the whole point.
Yeah, but it's especially conducive against
The
Philly.
whole problem with the Bucks was they got Dame to fix the problem that teams were able to just say, "Hey, Giannis, go crazy. We'll take everybody away, and you just have to beat us." Which he won a championship doing that, but he hasn't been able to do it since, and wasn't able to do it before. He was able to do it once. Okay, you got it once, but the thing is, I'm saying is now You brought in Dame, and he was supposed to be the solution to teams being able to. You're supposed to have the unstoppable pick and roll, but teams are still able to beat you with the just let Giannis go crazy because you get Dame. Some nights ain't always there. Because if you look, he'll go 25, 23, 13 points, 31 points, 12 points. I'm just saying.
I just think that the reason that was my first point is because I think that Philadelphia is especially susceptible to Giannis still just carve him up, though. I mean, yeah, Embiid can help build the wall, but like, who else is going to help build the wall?
That's true. I
But I
definitely.
do think it's an interesting spot for Tyrese Maxey because he could definitely burn Dame and Malik Beasley and whoever else they throw at him with his speed. But it's going to be a struggle for him to attack the rim, especially in his first playoff series as the guy. And he's faded in the playoffs at times. He's been inconsistent in the playoffs historically.
I just don't trust this team to.
You would love a Caruso on this team.
You would
That
love
would
a Caruso, but they don't have the assets to trade for him.
Correct. I think they don't.
That's the whole problem. They don't.
But so assuming that, gosh, do they have anything?
Pat Connaughton and Bobby Portis are like, and then you would have, and besides that, it's Marjon. I will say a big problem here is Marjon Beauchamp just didn't take a leap.
Yep.
He, I think it would be nice if they had another, just more wing depth. Also, campaign is just so meh. Andre Jackson's been getting runs, but like,
I mean, it's funny because it's funny because you say wing depth. There aren't really wings in the first place.
who?
There's hobbled Chris and injured Jay.
Malik Beasley's a wing. You got Beauchamp, Jackson who could play wing. Green could play wing. Livingston
True.
can play
No,
wing.
you have no two-way wings you trust right now.
Yeah. And Chris was your two-way guy in a sense and bailout guy, but again, Chris can't play more than fucking 20 minutes.
Wow, and all of their draft capital is entirely tied. They have 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So they cannot get Caruso.
They're like a buyout team, realistically.
Yeah. Stanley Johnson from the G.
No. All right, let's pull up Pirtle and let's get out of here.
That caps them, though. That caps them significantly.
Yeah. I'm fully convinced on like that whole like little thing I just told you. That's how I expect it all to play out. Who do you think this is? This is a white guy. I got Corey Kesper. Dude, who was I talking to? The whole religious thing. Also, is Jackson religious? The other day when we were making jokes about religion.
He certainly does believe in God, obviously. I think he wears a cross chain. So potentially.
I know he has a cross tattoo.
Yep.
I don't think he's that religious.
I saw him get down on his mat and praise Allah a few times a day. But I don't know how religious he is either.
I don't religious. But no. Because the other day we were because the other day when I brought up because me and Luke started talking about the afterwards because we realized whatever probably like 70 or 80% of the population is religious, and then Luke brought up a good point that they feel like not indebted, but like they realize it's so hard to make it, so like it's easier for them to like cope with the fact that they made it not by like through the grace of God than through like luck. I don't like you know what you mean, like, and like also most people being like if 70 or 80% of the world's population is religious, it makes sense that like if
Is it that high of a number still?
Let's just say
Oh
for
yeah, it probably is. It probably is though. Of the world's population. Yeah,
worlds,
probably.
yeah, and America, it's probably even higher, dude. I'd say America's probably like 90, 80.
Damn, I was gonna say lower than that. I thought that the world figure would be buoyed by India and other countries, and I thought U.S. would be dwindling to like 60 something,
Are
50 something.
you ready for America's religion part? Religion in the United States. If we just okay, 34 plus 23 is 57. 57 plus 11 is 68. 68 plus 2, 70. 72. 78, and then unaffiliated with organized. Okay, 78% of America currently is affiliated with some sort of religion. 78%.
Higher than probably higher than I thought.
So
for
like I
sure.
said, 80. So like 80%. I literally off the dome estimated 80. 78. So right there, and that's of right now. So think about all the people who are currently athletes were from a time when religion was probably higher. So then it just makes sense at the end of the day. Let's go back to this stuff. Guys younger than 24 or older than 24 was a number lower than 24, and he is a forward in something else, and he's in the West.
You said older than 24?
Yeah, he's either 25 or 26. How old is Lowry?
That's a good guess. Smack him.
I didn't even think that. I didn't even think.
It looks like him with the hair now in hindsight.
In hindsight, it does, but. All right, bud. I'll talk to you on Monday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, are you planning on going to the All-Star weekend in a month?
Probably not.
No?
Probably not.
No?
I currently have no plans to.
I look-y might.
Shut up, Apple TV. I remember you saying you wanted to.
I'm
It'd
thinking-
probably be fun.
Looks-
Although, what goes on besides the random festivities? I guess a ton of media availability.
That's-
You should definitely go. You should definitely go.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going for all the interviews and like all the social media stuff I can get for Hoops Hype. You should just come. Why wouldn't you come? The network.
It's late February.
February 16th through the 18th. It's a weekend. A Friday through a Sunday.
Yeah, I guess I have no reason not to come in Indy. We could ball.
Yeah. I was assuming you probably have boys that we could probably just crash with, because I could just drop off Jazz at my parents and then I could fly out or something like that if you just fly. You know what I mean? Because I would just leave Jazz with my.
You would drive up and then fly to Indy.
Yeah, to leave Jazz with my parents. And that way, if we wanted, I assume you have boys in the area, we could probably save money. I can sleep on the floor.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll ask around.
At the same time, I don't expect Indy to be that expensive to get a hotel. It's Indianapolis. I also want to go. There's the Celebrity All-Star game. Should I try to get myself in? I'd be like, I'm a celebrity. I'm like a D list. I'm like on the F list celebrity. I'm barely known. Let me get in the basketball game.
I think your better bet would be impersonating Lil Dicky and just saying, "Hey, Dicky, let me in the game."
That would be funny. That would be funny. That would be funny. Also, Pat McAfee's going to be at the All-Star game.
All right, I actually will look into this though. I have no reason not to go for the most part.
All right. Cheers, bud.
Thomas Perry, have a great weekend.